We're familiar with the story of God testing Abraham by asking him to sacrifice his only son Isaac on Mount Moriah, the site of the future temple. The parallels between this and God sacrificing Jesus are clear, but what's less apparent is that Abraham prophesies Jesus coming as the Lamb of God. Let's take a quick look at the parallels and this prophecy. God describes Isaac as Abraham's only son. Though he technically wasn't, he was the only son of the promised blessing. Likewise, Jesus is described as God's only son. Both were the only sons of promise offered up by their fathers. In faith, Abraham tells the servants to wait for them to worship and sacrifice on the mountain, then that both he and Isaac would return. He figured that if God had told him to sacrifice Isaac, through whom the blessing was to come, then God would just have to raise Isaac from the dead. Figuratively speaking, that's what happened, and Jesus was literally raised from the dead. Like Jesus, Isaac carried the wood he'd be sacrificed on. Both Isaac and Jesus went willingly to their deaths. According to Jewish historian Josephus, Isaac would have been in his late 20s or early 30s at this time, so he could have easily overpowered elderly Abraham, who was over 100 by then, if he were not willing. The third day features in both stories, with Mount Moriah coming into view on the third day of Abraham and Isaac's journey, and Jesus being raised from the dead on the third day. When Isaac asked Abraham where was the lamb for the offering, Abraham amazingly said that God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering. It's amazing because the animal that provided the substitute for Isaac was a ram, not a lamb. The lamb that was provided was Jesus himself, 2,000 years later. The ram was a substitute for Isaac, just as Jesus is the substitute for us. Thanks be to God for his indescribable gift. Please like and subscribe for more Bible nuggets from a Hebraic perspective.